Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Rose, and I'm here with Anthony DelValle to talk about church and his involvement with ministry. So, first question, what do you do in the ministry?
Right now, I'm working with the youth. I'm a youth leader. I'm a part of 4 other youth leaders. And then I work with the young adults. I'm not over them, but I assist because right now we're trying to find someone who is that can take over. So right now I assist the young adults. I usher at the church. I work with the merchandise. I do the photography. So I just, wherever I can step my foot in, or put my foot through a door just to be able to be of service.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what
Okay.
yeah, so.
That's really cool. What inspired you to be in the ministry?
To be in the ministry, I grew up in church. My mom was always fully Christian. My grandpa was a pastor. He owned a church. And my dad wasn't saved. But he still, respected my mom when we went to church. And so just growing up in church, I witnessed my mom being in the choir. I already knew, right from wrong. My mom was strict, but she was never forced Bible on us. She never forced to go to church, yeah. But it wasn't really forced, it gave us something to do on a Sunday. We did go Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So the 2 days during the week was tough. We'll miss Tuesday sometimes to watch SmackDown with my dad. Yeah. So that was cool. But yeah, I just always witnessed it, and I was always a part of it. And it wasn't until I turned, I believe I was 22 in college. I believe so, if I'm wrong. But I was 22 in college when my cousin asked to assist him with the youth. And I didn't feel ready because I wasn't fully knowledgeable. I wasn't, my relationship with God wasn't where I wanted it to be to lead. But I think stepping foot in that, it just opened my eyes to really how important it is to be a leader. And in our eyes as a follower of Christ, is to have that relationship, have that point of view of God. So that's where ministry kind of just came apart. It was kind of natural in a way.
So I know we talked about earlier, trying to be coming into church.
Yeah.
How, if somebody was hey, on the fence about it, hey, I want to go, but I don't know anybody, what would your advice be to them?
For sure, me, I'm very comfort. I know me myself, I'm not socially awkward, but I am quiet. I'm antisocial to a certain extent, but I know when I'm in a place where I don't know anybody or I have questions, I'm willing to go. I'm on my comfort zone. I'm asking whoever. I'm talking to whoever. But I know other people aren't like that. So for me, still having that point of view of feeling antisocial, in a newer environment, in a new this is new. If you don't know who God is truly in your life, then I would me personally, when I do invite people, I spend time with them. I know there's one kid, he's my parents' godson. We just don't see him as much. And he comes to youth, but when he comes, he likes to sit by himself. And I respect it. We have a whole group of people, and he's not antisocial. When you talk to him, he's not awkward at all. He just talks. But I make sure to always attend to him. I sit with him when I eat. So it's one thing where I'll say, I'll be there. Even at church, if they go to church, I'll sit next to you. If I usher in the back, I'll grab a chair, can sit next to me. And other than that, just be present. That's all it is. You just got to be present. Either it's awkward, it takes that one step of just faith, as I will say, just to show up. And once you show up, you never know what can happen. Just like an invitation, I invite people. Of course, I don't get offended. They don't come or they say I can't make it. I did my job as an invitation. So, from the other point of view, your part is to either show up or you don't. And if you show up, you never know what can happen. So that's how I see it.
That's a really good answer. Wow.
Thank you.
Dude. You said you haven't done these before.
No.
What is it? Can you share a defining moment in your life, that you've shared with God? Or in your faith journey?
In my faith journey, I think it's just my heart growing for people. And we have this Bible group. It's from 18 to 30 years old, young adults. We let 17, if you're turning 18 a year, you could come. We don't do pickups. It's usually at my house, and we just read the book of Matthew, and that's basically, in the New Testament, it's the gospel, meaning, Jesus' testimony, his whole walk when it comes to miracles and crucifixion. And, these are disciples that are writing it firsthand, how they witnessed it. So the gospel is Luke, John, Mark, and Matthew. So we've just finished Matthew. And just being able to witness Jesus' love, him being betrayed, him being disowned, him being turned on by his own city, the town that he lived in. because they seen that, they thought he was a god of a ruler. They thought he was going to come and rule and take over territory. Back then that's how it was. But he came to be of service. He washed the feet of people. He did miracles. He taught. He was a teacher, a 24/7 teacher. He didn't matter if he was going through any like sadness, because John the Baptist, just I'm not gonna get too deep. One of his friends got beheaded. Someone who baptized him, and even right after he got beheaded, Jesus had a crowd with him. He's technically famous. They knew him as miracles, and he did the miracles to show like who God truly is. He always gave God the glory, and even through that, he still had to do ministry right after he found out his friend got beheaded. And then after that, he sent the disciples off and he spent time with God. So I think just witnessing that, just my love for people, I think my heart's growing again. Like I'll go through seasons where like I'll feel like I've been used by someone in a way of like where they just want like money, or they just want like my time, and they just push me to the side. Like certain things like that, circumstances will like kind of push me off guard. Like let me just stay to myself. People don't really appreciate it. They don't say thank you. I do stuff, but Jesus did it all the time, and the same people that he saved are the same people saying crucify him. So I think when it comes to youth, I think just being there and witnessing like people are lost in a way of like they don't know their identity. They don't know, they're insecure. I grew up very insecure. Their parents, the household isn't like the safest or isn't the most comforting. So when I see them at youth and I see smiles on their face, and even if they're just, we say all the time, if you're coming for the company, that's perfectly fine. Like if you're not really paying attention when we speak, or you're not really like taking in, as long as you're here and you feel comfort, and as long as if we say like no fighting, because the kids, I like to wrestle too, but sometimes they get out of hand. As long as you just respect the guidelines while you're there, show up. As long as you're showing up. So I think just the leadership role really like molded me. I would say that.
Well, that's really deep, man. Going from like, wow.
Yeah. So.
Going back to your job, what is the most rewarding factor about it? I know you talked a lot about. Being able to communicate with others more, stuff like that. But I'm sure that's not the only rewarding factor that you've had in your life.
Excuse me, sorry. That's smoothie from this morning. So rewarding, I would say that's hard. Because I know like when it comes down to ministry, at the end of the day, your job is to fill yourself up, with the Holy Spirit, which is the Trinity we believe, God, Jesus, God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But like when you do stuff, like as a Christian and believer, we boast in God right away. Like it's not, he gave us the strength to be able to speak. Every time I pray, anytime I speak in front of the little crowd of youth, or even just adults, I just pray like, speak through me. Like half the time, sometimes I don't even know what I'm gonna say, and it just comes out even when I'm preaching. But I think the most rewarding thing would be that being able to witness that I could be used as a vessel of God, used as like, how would you say it? Like a tool almost. Like if Jesus needed like a hammer to like hammer a nail, like I'm able to be the hammer, to get the nail, to get to that one person that needs help. So I think just being able to be used and being able to be trusted. I don't take it lightly being a youth leader. Even if it's 4 of us or 5 of us, I do not take it lightly. It is a very dangerous position if you're preaching the word and holding a group accountable, under God, and you're preaching wrong gospel or wrong doctrine. It's very dangerous. So when I take that very serious, and I think just being able to have that leadership role and, like I said, be trusted, not only with God but the church. I'm so thankful for that. So it's something I don't take lightly. I'm sorry if the question was kind of like.
Dude, no, you're answering.
It's a good question. I didn't really know how to answer.
You're answering very, what's the word? You're giving a lot. You're not just answering like just with one sentence. You're answering it, giving it like juice. You're like, it's amazing, honestly.
Thank you.
And I could see you're very inspired by what you do, and you love what you do. Yeah. And I think that's amazing. I think that's what everyone else. I feel like that's how people should be. Yeah. And that's amazing that you are able to do that. And I find that amazing.
Appreciate that.
What are some challenges that you faced within the ministry? Oh, sorry. I apologize. Thank you for joining me. And that's really all we have. How'd you like this?
Oh, it was nice. It was very needed, I would say, in the season. It's new, but I appreciate the time. It was very fun.
Okay. That's it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.